Course here with Caldera Furiosa. Nope, I want to change course. Let's not play Mulligan Grove again. It's a nice course, but that's not what we're going for here. Ooh, ooh, 8,200. This is gonna get interesting. All right. Also, I believe. Oh, I gotta go check the forums. Name. Uh, Jaren. I think you were here for the other one, so I don't have to give you the whole disclaimer spiel. All right. Well, you might be right. I might not in a bad way, but I might have a lot to say about this one. Um, Environment, yes, digging it, loving it. Sculpting here looks really solid. Um, I just there's nothing wrong with it. I don't find myself liking that brown rough outline. I like it around the bunkers. Like I like what you're doing there, but I would if you're doing that with light rough, I'd honestly have probably just done fairways that just go straight into the heavy rough. It feels weird around the tee boxes and fairways. Um, that's a really cool idea with the mounds and the lettering and stuff. Um, I don't know. Like it's very in your face. Like I dig the boldness and the idea. Like I think it's a miss for me personally, but just because it's very again, it's very in your face and it doesn't feel like it fits the environment, but it's a wild idea and I absolutely respect the idea. But I dig this green complex. These bunkers are awesome. I love these bunkers. Oh god, that's a terrible shot. See, yeah, to a certain extent, it's like I feel like you did such a good job everywhere else on the hole that it's almost a shame to pull your attention away from that stuff. I mean, it's a cool, memorable idea. It's just that whole like everything else on this opening hole speaks for itself. I don't think it needs the big mounds to spell the name of the course to, you know, to do the talking for it. If that makes sense. But I think we're gonna be in for a wild ride. Like the environment looks awesome. So I'm yeah. You said I was gonna have a lot to say, and I mean maybe if the playability is wonky, then okay. So yes, we might have some playability things, but all the visuals are there. Like this is a cool look. I actually kind of dig the path and the little I don't know the little markers that run along it. That's kind of a cool look. Love the tee shot look. This is just really demanding. I don't know, like, but to be fair, it's just like I this almost feels like uh what's it like from the old Tiger Woods games, like the fantasy courses where they're just totally tricked up and like what's it like if that's kind of the vibe you're going for, then I can dig it. Like if you're just up front and it's like this is clown golf but in a good way, then I'm down. Of course, it's 8,200 yards, so I should expect some clown golf. So yeah, I guess it all depends on your aim. Like if you're going for that kind of realistic, straightforward feeling course, that there's probably going to be a lot of misses here. But if you're just straightforward, like yeah, I'm going to make something totally bonkers all the way through, then then yeah, like okay, I'm totally on board for this wild, crazy ride we're about to go on. Like, framing is solid. Uh, Bunkers might be a touch wild for my taste. Like you could probably smooth them out a little bit, but it's pretty darn good. It's There's not a lot to nitpick there. This to me feels um, like uh, dang it, what's the name of that course? It's not Wolf Run. What's the crazy like fantasy in real life course out in out by Vegas? Like Wolf something. I'm completely blanking on the name. I'm But whatever. It's like that one but on crack. And this is kind of, it's totally bonkers and I'm really loving it so far. Wolf Creek, thank you. It's Wolf Creek on crack. Is essentially what this course feels like. I mean, it might not have quite the same level of wild, like, canyons and stuff around it, but I'm not sure if this is in my group or not. But if it is, this is gonna be a bitch to judge. Because I feel like it's like I can't compare this to any of the other courses in the contest because it feels like it's doing something completely different. Like it feels like you have like the MLB playoffs and you just happen to have a random volleyball team in the middle of it who's playing volleyball. Like, well, how do you work playoffs when you have one team that's just playing a different sport? The look off this tee is awesome. Like this is a sweet hole visually. It's funny, like I've been following along with a lot of the courses, like just through like the work in progress stuff. I didn't play any of the betas, but I did at least like poke my head in the threads and stuff occasionally. So so I kind of knew what to expect visually, but I was absolutely not prepared at all for what this course was. And this is bonkers in the best way. I've absolutely loved it so far. But environmental work is absolutely top notch. Like your sculpting is great, or at least like in terms of like your visual presentation is just awesome. Like some of the bunker sculpting gets away from you just a touch in a couple spots, but like it's like an 8 or 9 out of 10. It's like you're just a touch, you know, like it could be just smoothed a little in a couple spots, but it's really really close to being just perfect, and it certainly doesn't detract from the course at all. Lighting is awesome. Ideas are wild and original. It's pretty cool. It's funny. It's almost a shame this one wasn't around for the when Eric did the fantasy course contest, because that's what this feels like to me. Like this feels like a fantasy course contest entry. You might like have to watch out a little bit for this one. Like I think if we had a strong headwind, you might struggle to make the fairway from the tee there. But I suppose you'd also just assume that um, like if you're playing an 8,200 yard course, I feel like if you're gonna play that with pro clubs, then you kind of are asking for it at that point. So it doesn't bug me that much. Oh, I just realized this is a par four. Nice, though. I suppose if we're gonna get to 8,200 yards, we're gonna have some bonkers holes. I was almost gonna like I almost said aloud of hey like this course does not feel its length at all so far. Stop, that's my mic. There we go. First kitty interruption of the day. He's just gonna bite my arm. Great. See that last one, it felt like it was playing at like an 8,200 yard course, but the rest of them so far have not felt like overly long. It's felt perfectly fine. Like I haven't felt like it's just a grind trying to get around this one, which I was kind of expecting from 8,200 yards. Oh, oh, an 8,200 yard par six. Oh my. Or 800 yard, not 8,200 yard. 800 yard par six. Yeah, you're just going to make this really hard for the judges, aren't you? I don't know how to judge a par six. I've never actually played a par six on a contest course before. I don't know if I've played a serious par six on any course ever. So I guess you weren't far off. There is a lot to talk about with this course. Ow, will you stop clawing my legs? If you're going to get all squirmy, then leave. Alright. Ooh, I like the deck. That's a cool touch. That's pretty cool. I like it. This, I love the look of this green. That is such a bonkers green. It's so awesome. Alright, I guess it's an eagle putt. Well, let's, alright, I guess I make my 5 for birdie. Well, that is the best par 6 I've ever played, because I think that's the only par 6 I've ever played. But it was awesome. I liked it. Yeah, this one feels you know, like the entry to some kind of show that wins its category, and it's just the only one in its category. Like, congratulations, you have won this category of one. You made the best Caldera Furiosa of this contest. Like, I think just based on the polish, like the sculpting is there, all the visual polish is absolutely there. I think you should easily make it to the second round based on that stuff alone. And then after that it might be a crapshoot just based on how the judges receive like a very unorthodox course. Like I mean, if Jeremy Mayo's course is like you know, uh, like a almost like weird controversial course, like this is gonna be totally out there, and I see some very interesting discussions going on in the judging room on what to do with this one. For whatever it's worth, personally, I love it. It's bonkers in the best possible way. Like I don't think this would ever get on tour, but I feel like it demands something like a Damn Society event. Or it's like I don't know. Like this feels like the after dinner mint of golf courses where it's just okay, well, here's this weird thing to cleanse your palate. In a after the main course of a bunch of standard championship courses. Now you have you know, the goofy the goofy clown golf course that just absolutely is just a blast to play. Again, I keep calling it clown golf, and I don't normally I would mean that as an insult, and I absolutely do not mean that as an insult in this case. It's basically the adult version of putt putt golf. It's only missing the windmill and the loop de loop, and I think that's awesome. Yeah, I think this one's going to be very polarizing, but it has a very obvious vision and it executes it well. So I'm sure there'll be at least one judge who just hates it, but I think it'll do fairly well. It's it's one of the most unique things I've seen entered in a contest. This is a cool green. It's funny, like just based on your work in progress thread that I admittedly just kind of breezed through. I didn't read a whole lot on it. But just based on that, and even based on the first hole, I was absolutely not expecting what we got here. You've kind of caught me completely by surprise with this one. I'm like, well, this hole looks fairly standard. Oh, it's a 550-yard par four. Ooh. All right, let's do it. I'm in. Looks like it's a downhill landing area though, so we could go hit like a 370-yard drive. Only 350. For shame. It might be time to take a break after this one and go play with the cat some because he seems very riled up. Then maybe I could do one or two more tonight. It's not as late as I thought I would be, or as I thought it would be. I've absolutely blown through all of these. I think I've done all of them in under 30 minutes today, which is crazy considering that the first couple took me 45 to 50 minutes. All right. Well, here's this has got to be uphill of fairways. I don't know if I can. Oh, I've got a tailwind, so we're gonna go for this. Oh, I wanted a fast. I didn't want a very fast. Oh, time to pay the penalty. Oh, oh, this is gonna be interesting. I know. Yeah, you can't tell any jokes in streams. Obviously, you're not allowed to have any fun. God forbid judges be anything but super, super serious all of the time. I think I gotta hit a flop here. No, I think I gotta hit like a normal wedge. Well, I had this good round going, and it's absolutely gone now. But hey, I mean, I did something stupid twice, and now I'm, you know. Kitty, will you stop? Okay. You're gonna keep batting at my face. You're gonna have to sit off or get off. I suppose I hadn't really encountered the mean side of this golf course until just now. Yeah, I think I was overdue to go, you know, find a terrible position. Something like that. Oh, and I almost snuck out with only a bogey. I gotta say, a lot of the shots have been surprisingly reasonable for what is essentially a fantasy course. So props for that. I haven't, other than that last one in which I just took on a stupid, you know, a stupid shot and failed multiple times, you know, and was appropriately punished. I haven't felt like I haven't run into any shots that I felt like, oh, this is ridiculous. I don't know how to do this one like I was expecting to. It's been pretty reasonable in what it's asked me to do. Always creative and original, but yeah, it succeeded. Well, let's see if this is enough. It's just enough. On this course, I'm completely okay with that. It's only fitting. And like I had a tailwind, I thought I could just pull it off. It didn't look that uphill, you know. All right, you're gonna sit down because you can't stop biting my arm. So down you go. I guess my one complaint so far is that this is way too standard of a hole for this crazy course to end on. Like what? It's a 8,200 yard bonkers fantasy course, and you end me on a downhill 420 yard par four. Okay, because it's got this green. Okay, okay, I can work with this. It's very rare that I don't, you know, I didn't think I would say on stream of, okay, well, what I need from you on 18 is the most bonkers green I've ever seen on a course. Yeah, I'm not sure this is a rookie or competition entry. I think he was just really, really late for the fantasy contest. He just got confused. Yeah, it's I mean, this is one where, like, again, I think it's going to be too polarizing to win, but you've succeeded in entering this contest and just completely doing your own thing and essentially ignoring just, what the obvious path would be, and you've just absolutely pulled off doing your own thing. You've kind of just invented your own sport with this golf course. And it's like, yeah, you're probably not gonna win the contest, but this is a kind of its own victory in and of itself. You just keep doing you, man. Yeah, this is awesome. Consider yourself put on notice, because you know you have my attention now. This was crazy and awesome. I loved it. So yeah, thank you again for making this one, and thanks for entering the contest. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. I might be back with one a little bit later. Maybe not. We'll see. If so, it'd be like a half hour. Maybe I'd do one or two before I go to bed. But, for now, thanks for tuning in. And, thanks again for doing all this. Have a good one, everybody.